Hi friends, welcome. Today we are going to make appetizers for Thanksgiving, and I've got a couple of really delicious ones. We're going to do a crostini with a little bit of a sage flavor in the olive oil and butter, and then we are going to have a delicious cranberry toasted walnut cheese log for that. And then we are going to have a roasted stuffed date with some cream cheese and goat cheese mixture with some nice crunchy toasted nuts and some spices. Is going to be incredible. And then we'll do a little bit of a charcuterie board with a little bit of fresh fruit like persimmons and some oranges and some other things, but it's going to be lovely today. So if you're looking for some inspiration for those holiday appetizers, stay tuned. All right, one of the things where you want to get started is we want to warm up our olive oil and a little bit of butter, and we're going to put some of our sage in that to get that infused and have that nice flavor. So I've got some salted butter here, and I'm going to put about a half a stick. And we've got a whole loaf of French baguette for crostinis, and we're going to get that sliced up in a little bit, but I want to really get this going. I might not even need a whole half a stick. And we're probably going to use, I want to use a tablespoon. Let's see. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to let that butter melt. Actually, probably doesn't even matter. I'm going to go ahead and start to put my sage in there because I really just want to get that going. And I'm just breaking up the leaves. And we're just going to warm this up a little bit just to release those oils in there. And I'm going to use the stalks and everything because I'm breaking that up a little just to kind of release that flavor here. And I used a whole stalk, but I think I need a little bit more. So I really want it to be strong. I'm going to take one of the other stalks and break that in half. I want it to be. So I used like a stalk and a half. You can kind of see with that, and it smells already great. And I just want that to really infuse so that when we put that on the crostini, you notice it's there. So we're letting that get started, and let's go on to getting some of our other steps done. I'm going to go ahead and chop up those toasted walnuts. They've cooled down. I still have them in the pan, but yeah, they're good. I'm going to chop those up because we need those in 2 of our recipes. And you could switch this up with pecans if you want. And I thought about doing one of each, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to simplify a little bit and just do the one. You want these finely chopped. You don't want big pieces, and that's pretty good. There we go. It didn't take long at all. Don't you just love these mini choppers? And there we go. And we are going to do our cranberries next. Let's get that going. So we have about a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. That's for our cheese log. And then we're going to also put some fresh cranberries. But I want to do the dried one first and chop those up. I'm going to say a 1/4 cup or something like that. Ooh, noisy. go ahead and toast those pussy beans. The oven's nice and preheated. And I'm going to get a little brush here to brush those. Our little bag. Put these out on the pan. Let's see how many we can do at a time. Do you think we can do 24 or 30? If I scrunch them together. Oh, you can't see because I'm right up in here. I forgot I had to close up for the chopper. Sorry. That's where a production team is so helpful because I can make sure you're always in the shot. It's a one-man show here, or one-woman show, so gotta make it work. Ooh, that one's ripped. Not that that will hurt. That could be for the taste tester, which would be me. Oh, I hope this lives up to my expectation. Like I said, I've been thinking about how wonderful this would be. I know my daughter would just love this. She's very creative. She loves to try new things. So how many do we got in here? We've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 21, 23, 25, 27. Oh, pretty much close to 30. 28. That's pretty good. I probably could get a few more in there. Let me see. I'm going to try. Actually, if I squoosh this down, maybe I can get a whole nother. Yeah, I can. We're going to make this work. Some of them are a little bit thinner than the others, so I'll put those in the middle, and the thicker ones I'll do on the edge. I said you can cook these, and you can keep these up to anywhere from a week to 10 days. Store them in the refrigerator. And if you want to reheat them, you can put it on a preheated 375 degree oven and reheat them. Use whatever topping you want. Bruschetta, olive oil, and garlic. These are numb for your lunch with a tomato soup, right? All right, so I got them all but the heel, so I'm happy camper. All right, well, let's get our. Now this has been sitting in here probably what 40 minutes, so it should be good and flavored. And let's give that a good coating. Hopefully I got enough here. Just go ahead and coat these all, and we'll sprinkle a little salt on there. Ah, it smells so good. I'm gonna get another batch of this. I'm gonna get more use out of this sage. I remember a friend in upstate New York. She used to make, I think, infused like oils, and she made like a compound. I think call it a compound butter, where you add the herbs or garlic to the butter, roll it. You soften it, or you mix it like in a processor, soften it up, add your herbs or garlic to it, and then you shape it out and put it in the fridge and use it like, on steaks or baked potatoes. crostinis. That's a good idea, and we can use some of that because we still could get a lot of kick out of that. All right, so let's get this in the oven. They're all coated good. Oh, can't forget the salt. And I've got some sea salt, kosher sea salt here. Giving a few pinches. And I suppose you probably could do a little pepper, but we're not going to do that on this. Let's get it in the oven and then put our timer on and we'll check back on that. Let's make our mixture for the cheese log while those are in the oven, while the crostinis are in there. And it's not going to hurt that we put this in with the cranberries because how many putting about, I think it's I'm trying to remember if that was a 12 ounce or an 8 ounce. So at least 4 ounces of goat cheese and a couple of ounces of cream cheese. Oh, we do have to chop our sage because we're going to put some sage in there. That would be a bummer if we forgot that. So let me get my list and see what I didn't put on there. So I think we needed about a couple of teaspoons. So let's get chopping that up. Probably could just put the leaves in there, and then let the processor chop it. But we'll give it a little rough chop. And you know what? We don't have to put this. This is going to go in. I forgot. This goes with the cranberries and the walnuts on the outside. I almost forgot. I'm multitasking, so I love the sage. It smells so great. So we can actually cream this. We can put maybe a little bit of honey in there. Get that out. A little drizzle of honey. Probably like a teaspoon. Let's see. I might use a little more cream cheese because I want it to be more than that. And I softened it up. It's like, I do have some other cream cheese I can use for my roasted stuffed dates. And some people that make this recipe, can use some different kind of cheeses. Some people don't even use like cream cheese. All right. Let's set that aside and let's cut up our sage. Put that in a little bowl. Let's get a sharp knife. And I'm just going to place the leaves on top of each other. Let me get a little closer so you can see. And see what I'm doing? Just placing the leaves on top of each other with the bigger ones on the bottom to medium size to the smaller ones. It smells good. I feel like this smells like the holidays. What's your favorite herb? I'm thinking mine, it definitely is rosemary and sage. We really might not have to put this. We can just toss this in a bowl together with the walnuts and the cranberries. I see some recipes are made this with parsley, but we've got the sage theme going on this year at our house, so I'm saying we got probably 2 tablespoons here, maybe a tablespoon and a teaspoon. It's almost like minced. Not quite. See how fine I chopped that? Smells good. I wish I had smell-o-vision. About 5 minutes left for those crostinis. So let's get a little bowl and mix this in a bowl. And we'll put the wet cranberries, the dried cranberries. Give that a little toss. Is that looking festive? This is perfect for Thanksgiving or Christmas. This totally is Christmassy. We need about a zest of 1 orange. And I did all my oranges here. Let's use about a tablespoon because we have a little for our other recipe. And a little bit of lemon in there. I did about half a teaspoon. And we are going to put let's give that a stir, and then we'll add our sage in there. I want to smell it. Oh my gosh, it smells great. Just want to mix it nicely because you don't want a lump of one of your ingredients in one spot. Put our sage in there, mix that through, and then we'll put our toasted walnuts. And we did all the walnuts ahead of time so that they would be cooled down, so we don't have to worry about the nuts melting the cheese at all. And we need about 1/4 cup. Last year I did a video on a homemade cheese ball. That was really good. If you get a chance, if you want some other appetizers, go ahead and check out that video from last year. Last year I was just starting out, so I don't think my videos as far as this cinematic part of it was always 100% great. But I feel like I'm growing and learning, so but that was a good recipe. All right, go ahead and take this cheese mixture, and really it's just cream cheese and goat cheese blended together, and we're gonna make a little log out of it. We'll let this chill for probably like a half an hour, and I put those crostinis in for I put the timer for another 2 minutes because they weren't ready yet. You don't have to wash it because we have to mix the mixture for the stuffed dates. So And you'll be able to shape this up a little bit better once you get it chilled. It's nice and warm now. So let's go ahead and use our plastic wrap and give it a little roll up. And it comes together. I'm just using that plastic wrap, pulling it toward myself and pulling it toward the other way. And we got a nice little cheese log, and we'll coat it with the toppings after this firms up a little. We probably actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe 10 minutes in here, 15, because we do want it kind of sticky so it adheres to it. I almost forgot about that. Let's check these crostinis. Ooh, they're pretty close. I like them a little more golden. And I'm going to do it. I think we're okay for, which I'm surprised it took this long. That's 12 minutes. Let's do one more minute. All right. So we got to wait for that other thing to, and we'll start to get our dates ready in a few moments. Get the cheese mixture for that. And then we've knocked out two. That's good with the honey too. Two appetizers. All right. Let's take them out. I did it for one more minute, 1 minute and like 20 seconds. I think they're pretty good. I call that good to go. We're going to put them on a cooling rack and keep plugging away. For our date filling, we do need some rosemary to go in that cheese filling. And we're going to need about 2 teaspoons. So we're going to take that woody stalk and we're just going to strip the pine needles, the rosemary. They look like pine needles, don't they? We're going to strip that off. Get a little closer. Now I know I've been doing mostly sage, but I thought with this one, let's do it a little variation because we don't want everything to be too redundant. Oh, smells so good. And this you want finely chopped. This is going to be comparable to almost minced because you want it very fine in your filling for the dates. Just running my knife back over it. Just rocking it back and forth. Rocking it, we're rocking it. That's close. Now, let's mix up our filling for the dates. We're going to blend that also in the, and I'm going to use about 4 ounces of softened goat cheese and see, was this a ounce? Yeah, let's do, I didn't want to put quite 4 ounces on there, so it's more like 3 ounces of the cream cheese. Let's blend that. If I feel like we need more, we'll go ahead and no, let's go ahead and use it. I want to save that a little bit. We got 4 and 4. Just get that well mixed well so that it's all incorporated together. We don't have lumps of one kind of cheese and not another. Now we're going to mix the ingredients for our filling. So we're going to take our walnuts and our rosemary. So on this recipe, we want about, I'm going to have about a 1/4 cup in this. 1/4 to a 1/3, but we'll use a 1/4 because I'm scaling this down a little bit. And I want to put our rosemary in there. And what did I say I needed? 2 teaspoons. One, 2. We had just a tad over that, but I want to overpower it. So we're going to go with that. Then we're going to put our zest of our orange. We need 2 teaspoons of that. No, 1 teaspoon of the orange zest. And it's just going to be a tad over that because I had a little bit in there. I don't want to waste that. And we're going to do 2 teaspoons of our fresh orange juice. 1, 2. We're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, and let's see. Gonna use a little bit of olive oil. Start with a tablespoon and see if we need a little bit more than that. And then we're going to give this a good mix. This would be a great, if you were just bringing side dish, maybe you were asked to bring the side dish or the appetizer, this would be great. So this is for the topping. Oh, it smells fabulous. Let's put just a tiny bit more, probably like 1 teaspoon. All right. We're going to put this mixture over our dates. Only if you could smell. That's going to make it nice and crispy, crunchy. So let's go ahead and check our cheese roll. All right, I blended away on those. I didn't want you to have to hear that loud sound, but I'll put these in here and you can get a good look at how small they are. Pretty small. Kind of that's how you want it. So now we're going to go ahead and do the wet cranberries. This was trying to do that. We're doing the dry first. Makes more sense. And then to the wet because we're going to blend some of that cheese. But let's put out some paper towels because they're still pretty wet. I don't want them overly wet. And we're going to need about maybe a 1/2 cup of these. And then I'll just pat them dry. At all. Let's get these in here. I didn't measure it out, but I pretty much eyeballed it. It doesn't have to be exactly quarter or half, I mean. There we go. And then we're gonna pulse those. Now, some recipes that make this is a thing. A lot of people make this, and this is a variation. Some people use, a lot of people just use the dried ones, and then some people just use the wet. And I thought I would do a nice mixture because I like the tart flavor of the fresh cranberries. We probably won't use all this, but I've got another orange cranberry filling for a trifle. We'll see if we can get that video in with gingerbread and a little bit of orange custard, or maybe a vanilla custard. I totally haven't 100% made up my mind yet, but I know it's going to be gingerbread cake, and there's some nice whipped cream. It's going to be yummy. So here's a close-up of it, which it looks a little bit like a hot mess right now, but we're going to roll it back up, and I'll have you see how that's going to work. All right, so I shaped it, wrapped it up tight, and we're going to get that in the fridge and let it harden up. See, we'll use that. We're going to use this tomorrow, actually. All right, friends, it is the next day. It's when I'm actually serving these appetizers, so I got some prepped, and we'll finish them up so you can see how that works. I have the cranberry cheese logs chilling, and it's best to have that chill for a day before you serve it, just to help for it to set up. And I noticed this morning it still is kind of soft, so I'm popping it in the freezer. It's not like it's a hard spread. You want it smooth and creamy, but I'd like it a little bit more solid than it is. So I might have overdid it on the cream cheese or whipped it too much. But here we have the rest of the cheese filling. Let me show you what I prepped already. They're so cute. Look at those. So we just cut open the dates, got the pits out, and we stuffed it with the cheese filling. So this morning, let's go ahead and take the pits out of the rest of these, and we'll cut those open. Let me get a little bowl to put the pits in, and we need a little paring knife. Part's pretty easy. And this is just it's going to be the perfect little appetizer gathering for the holidays. So let's see if I can get a little bit closer. And we'll go ahead and pit those. So these are dates, and they're kind of crispy a little bit. They got a little skin on the outside. They're very soft on the inside, and I just go in, and you can kind of feel you're going to cut a slit in there. You're not going to cut it all the way through, and then you just open it up with your fingers and just take that knife, and there's a little pit in there, and I'll show you. Kind of work the tip of your paring knife and get that out. You don't want to eat that. You might break teeth, or you might cause someone to choke. So make sure you get those out. Very simple. Actually, so we did most of these, so I only got like 10 more, but So you just basically, and you can kind of feel the pit a little bit, and just move your knife in there, open it up. There's that little pit, and take that out. So let's go through and do this. Now this appetizer, I really don't have the only thing sweet I really have, I think, well, no, I do have other sweet things. I was thinking the dates were the only sweet thing, but I've got the fruit. So I've got some dark grapes. We've got some vibrant persimmons that we can peel and slice up, and then I've got those cute little. I think I'm not sure if they're clementines or mandarins. I think they were clementines, but we're gonna peel those, and I've got cute little celery stalks we'll use as a pumpkin stalk. It'll look like little mini pumpkins, and that will be cute and festive for our, because we have adults and kids I'm feeding today. So, and I have the oven preheating at 375. This will only take about 15 minutes. You can serve these warm. You want them to cool down a little bit before you don't want it piping hot. But, and I tried one last night cold, and it was good. First, my dates are room temperature. So because I had this in the fridge overnight, and if you want to make yours and overnight, maybe prep it the next day, just bring it up to room temperature. I had this out for about a half an hour. And my nut topping I've had out for a half an hour. So, it's not ice cold. And that way it won't take any time at all to wash my hands out. They're so sticky. Won't take any time to heat this up. And we're going to prep our fruit when we get that in the oven. But let's go ahead and fill these up. Just take a teaspoon. Yeah. You can just spread open that fig. It's like a little cavity. I said you're not going to cut that all the way through, and just scoop a little bit of your cheese mixture in there, just like that. And see how many more we can fill. I've never had stuffed dates with a cheese filling, so this is a first for me. I was coming up with different ideas. And we're going to have also some sliced cheeses. You can have whatever your favorite hard cheese. Oh, that one split open. I guess that's for the cook testing. We're going to have, I think I have Havarti. I've got, like I said, I've got crackers, got pita chips. We've got the crostinis, and we're going to heat those up too, because I'm going to be traveling with this. And maybe you've been asked to do the appetizers. So this is a good little idea of something you might want to do. Oh, did I not open that one? Oh, it's upside down. I did. Kind of nice to have that little sweet and savory. And these aren't, it's a light little, light little appetizer. Oh, I broke another one. Jeez. Well, I don't think I could fit any more in my pan, so I probably have like a dozen and a half or so. I'll set these on the side, and I'll put that back in the fridge. That cream cheese and goat cheese, that can last about 5 to 7 days in your fridge. All right, so let's top it with, I'm just going to set these in here for now, just to get them out of the way. And then we're going to take our nut mixture. And I added a little bit more nut to it last night because I just didn't feel like saving that in a little baggie. I thought, let's just make it all at once, and I'll make something else with it. And as you see, I'm just putting a nice, generous little topping because we have plenty. Obviously, you don't want to put more than what's on, like the actual date. You don't want to mound it on, but. And I'll show you what this looks like when we get a close-up. Remember, I was saying that my theme flavor this year is sage, and we have the sage in the butter for our crostinis, and here we did use rosemary, which is a little bit different, but certainly in that same flavor profile for the holidays. But I did want something a little bit different, and it smells great with that orange zest. So that's what it looks like. Doesn't that look good? So let's put it in the oven. It's good and preheated. I have it on the middle rack. Set our timer for 15 minutes. All right, let's wash our hands. And we'll get the oranges ready. So I've got some of the these little mini clementines. They look like little pumpkins, don't they? Or they're going to. So I'm just taking my little pinky and poking in the center. And I've already cut up some celery, but I'll just show you what I did. But I cut them in I cut them down the middle, then again into little pieces, and just gonna put that in there. Now you might have to make it a little smaller. But let me show you one way with the celery. Of course, we washed and rinsed it, dried it. If you want to get those little strings out, you can go ahead and that makes it easier to bite into. Just take the tip of your paring knife and just it peels right off. And you can get some of those layers of strings. It makes it a little more pleasant to bite into, especially since you're going to have, that juicy orange people are biting into, and this makes it a little bit nicer. So just go ahead, and we're not going to get it all out, but kind of a good portion of it. There we go. Because it's really for decoration. I mean, you can certainly eat it. It's an edible decoration. Take your little celery, and now is that cute or what? That's cute. That'll be cute on your plate, on your serving platters or charcuterie. I do have a new charcuterie board, so I'll try to use that today. I'm just going to go ahead and assemble these. Got just a few minutes more till our dates are done. I'm going to wrap those up in some aluminum foil because I'm transporting it. Well, they're not going to be piping hot, but they'll still be a little bit warm. And that's okay. And they'll be okay at room temperature. Probably wouldn't want to leave them out like for over an hour. So you can, if you have a lot of people you're serving, you can make some in batches. But if you have them pre-prepped, then it's not so, it's a lot easier. These are, and I just basically just peel these, obviously. I wouldn't peel these overnight, and I kind of debated about that. I was like, do I want to peel these overnight? That's one, but I didn't want my fruit to get ultra dry. And I mean, I could have put it in the fridge and it might have been all right. And I might try that another time, but I thought I'll do it the day um, of the gathering. So they're not all dried out. Because we not only want it to look pretty, but we want it to taste good. So there we go. Kind of see how that works. All right, timers. Let's check these. Let me get a little heating pad. Put them on. Let's see. Just make sure you can see them. Smells good. Well, that's what they look like. I don't know if they need to be bubbly or not. I'm going to put them in for 2 more minutes. I just feel like it needs just a little bit longer because I want that nut to be a little bit crispy. So I want to do that for 2 more minutes. And then for our persimmons, and let's go ahead and peel these. So you should be able to get your thumb under there and pop those off. Well, so if I peel it or pull it, oh, the whole thing doesn't come up. Oh, you know what? I think I've seen other people do it. They use like a spoon. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that works pretty nice. Just putting the spoon, the tip of the spoon underneath there. Yeah, that pops it out nice. Let's get our garbage bowl. Now, I did read that you can eat the skins, and I was like, do I want to put, do I want to peel this, or, no, let's cut it in half. That's what the flesh looks like in there. And let's peel it that way. I feel the skin is a little tougher, but I've read that you can eat, I think on certain ones, and these seem to be the ones that you could eat the skin. But, and I'm going to use a couple of these just for decoration on there. But some people might not have ever had persimmons. All right, let's take those out. Oh, it smells incredibly good. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. I can see a little bit of browning on the nut, not much. Those should be fabulous. So I'm gonna keep my oven on and I'm gonna heat up those crostinis we made last night. And then I'll put them in some aluminum foil to transport. Set our timer. Do about 8 minutes. So slice up some of these. Let's finish peeling these. Yeah, this skin is too hard to eat. So we're gonna just do nice little slices. And let's give a taste. Mmm, oh, nice and sweet. We'll slice these up and we'll put that board together. So friends, I hope today you enjoyed these appetizers and I hope you give them a try. And they really went over well with my guests. We made the toasted walnut and cranberry cheese log, the date with the cheese filling was absolutely delicious, and it gave you some fun ideas for a charcuterie board. So, hope you have some tasty appetizers for your Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching today.